All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, respect to you, brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word of truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you, believers out there at the Aki and Wahakwa. And what I wanted to get into is you can see the title Music Have Frequencies. Your favorite artists are satanic sellouts. And I had these two videos, as you can see, this one from Big Shoot, okay? Satanic Preach for Bohemian Grove blows whistle on elite Zachary King. And that's this guy right here. Zachary King is to your left. And I also have this video from John Todd, okay, who's an ex-Satanist. All right, blowing the whistle. So, because I did a lesson before on this guy right here, on this video right here. All right, it's a lot of stuff in this video. It's 2 hours long. I'm gonna be playing a little bit of this one and a little bit of this video as well. All right, so he's an ex warlock. He was a big warlock. He said he helped like 12,000 rock artists or rock bands or something like that between the 80s, the mid to late 80s to the early 90s. He even goes into how um for artists to sing better, he he has something where he stick his finger up their rectum and then do a magic spell, and they're able to go like 5, 6 octaves higher. So as you know, the music industry is very, very satanic. He goes into how mainly all the biggest artists sold their soul. All right, which basically he says they sell their soul to the Illuminati, but the Illuminati is a Satan coven, a Satanist, satanic coven. So so I'm gonna play this, but first I want to get this. Let's get Luke, the fourth chapter, starting at verse 5. It says, "And the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment in time." All right, so Satan showed Yahushua all the kingdoms. And the devil said unto him, "All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, to whomsoever I will give it." So the Heavenly Father have gave Satan a certain type of power, all right, for it, for this time span, all right, to fulfill prophecy, to weed out the righteous from the unrighteous, and and just for his ultimate for his will. Okay, if, and it says what? And the devil said unto him, "All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whosoever I will give it. If thou wilt therefore wilt worship me, and shall be thine." So if you worship, Satan at this time, you will get the fame, you will get the money. All right, you're gonna get that glory in this temporal kingdom, but you're gonna have to do some unspeakable acts. Okay, and this guy, he goes into it, but I'm gonna play a little bit because this is, music does have frequencies, and that's why, the Illuminati or whatever they call, the elitists that's working through their left hand. That's why they delved into hip hop. Okay, because him and this guy John Todd, they go into a lot of the rock, but you seen through, let's take from the 70s when it was created till now, it have got more satanic, and that's why you see the young cats now. What do they say? They say we on demon time. See, because the music is satanic, because you have ultimately what the artist is saying that's enchanting you. Then you have the beat and the frequency of that beat. Okay, and he goes into how these people go and pray over the master copy and put demons on them, which demons are spread out through everything that's under the master copy. So let's just play the video. All right.
With something then, like how would someone that can't dance suddenly be able to dance well? Like
that'd be a magic.
Yeah, really? Well,
That
suddenly
would be
they're
a
just
magic.
like they're like a marionette, and suddenly they just know all the moves. I mean, how does that work?
It's in their brain. something is switched on that tells them they can dance,
Yeah.
and then they're given certain skills that just help them along. Plus, they're probably given a demon.
They're possessed.
Like what's her Beyonce? Beyonce says that when she gets on stage, she becomes possessed, and her demon is called Sasha Fierce.
Sasha what? Sorry?
Sasha Fierce is the name of her demon.
Wow.
So Sasha comes out. She's fearless. She can do things that I cannot do when I'm in rehearsal. I mean, I can try, but then it just doesn't happen. I can sing notes and sing strong and do all these things that when I'm just by myself, I can't do. And I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
So is an actual entity going into their bodies then, would you say, most of these famous singers, that have been put through this?
Yeah, I would say there's a video. I don't know who the artist is, but there's a video my daughter was telling me that you can watch a video of a famous singer that caused one of her audience members to get possessed. He did a spell over her, and she got possessed, and we couldn't watch it.
So you see where Beyonce, which all of these Israelite women, they would worship Beyonce, and it's the reason because she had cast the spells on them, include some of my family members as well. All right, but we was all enchanted by our favorite artists, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, whoever, you can name all of them. All right, but again, Beyonce, she's been given a demon, the demon Sasha Fierce. And he goes into Nicki Minaj, she had another one, she had that demon Roman, and Eminem with Slim Shady, and so on and so forth. All right, because these people are witches and warlocks. Now let me go to this video. He goes into the same thing.
I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what to call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. And that's not even the name of the company that owns it. The name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil is owned by Lords of London.
See, so it all goes back to Esau Edom. It all goes back to Satan, Lords of London, all right, which is an elite group, and they own everything, and they change the name as it goes back to them. So it won't go back to them, but you have 4, 5, 6 names that own Motown or Columbia or whatever record label. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. Yeah, Jake wicked as hell for writing what they write, but who put them on the tour bus? Who gave them radio play? Who, back in the day, pressed all the CDs, and who gave them the $1 million, put the money in their pocket to, to do the things that they do? The magazines, who own the television stations, who own the radio companies, who own now the social media companies. All right, it's the wicked. The earth been given into the hand of the wicked. That's why Satan tempted Yahweh Shai and said, hey, bow down and worship me. I give you this. Because power been given to me. See? So all your favorite artists, they've been presented with this opportunity to worship Satan, to bow down. And a lot of them do. If they're at the tippy top, such as Beyonce, Nicki, Jay, right now you got Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Ice Spice, you got Kendrick Lamar, and all the rest of these artists. What you think they did, man? They didn't just get there off pure talent. Let's continue on.
Back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs is being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Recently, one of the top people in rock music from the group, I can't think of the name of the group now, is one of the top pop rock group still in existence that's been around a long time, was just saved. And he told how when they play in their concerts, they would control through witchcraft spells in their mind the people that do different things in the audience. And that they'd work the audience up not with their music, but with their mind and their music combination. Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I pained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still Nash and Young. And I saw David the day before Christmas last year. Talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood, and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store, and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He said, the same as when you were in, so that we can place spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract.
So you see what he said, we cast spells on people we would normally, because you got to think, if you have all of these witches, they can't get everybody, so it's what they have to do was put it in the music. Okay, because music is going to be able to reach more people than the individual people would themselves. Okay. And see, you can do it more subtly in music. That's why if you even listen to a rap song, you know, you rapping the lyrics, you take the beat away and all of that, and you just say it. You be like, damn, this nigga saying some wicked shit, or she saying some wicked stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, you're dealing with actually what the artist is saying. That's an enchantment, and you're actually dealing with the musical frequency, the frequency of the music. Plus, they already have put demons on, you know, on those copies. Well, back in the day, you had tapes, you had CDs and albums. They were able to put demons on that. Now, you know, everything is digital. So, but I per se, they will still pray over the music, and those demons will be able to go out through the, you know, through the electricity of the music. Because I got this video on my ad at the end of this, and just let it play. How it talks about how music is electricity, and it's a certain vibe, and we can do that in the scriptures. We can find that in the scriptures as well.
He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't told were witches have to be witches now in order to produce.
You see?
Thank you. The master is a tape wrong 8-track that the album is cut on, and it's placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's this is why a master cut months in advance before release. On the full moon, to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive office, and it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. I tell any Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. That's too hard for you to believe? I'm sorry. That's why they do it. Now listen to me. This is.
You see? So they conjure up a demon and tell that demon to tell the other demons to be on every copy, man. And you notice he said they put principality on there. Let's get that. Let's see. That is Ephesians 6. Principality. So what the scripture tells us, Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah. and they use those principalities, those power. All right, they use it in the music, in the frequency of the music. Let's look at principality. It says, but not beginning origin, the personal thing that commences, the first personal thing in a series, the leader. All right, it says the first place principality rule, magistracy of angels and demons. Okay, so that principality basically is the leader. That's why they tell the principality, and then the principality tells the demons and give those demons instructions to say, hey, follow every album, and you bring the album in your home where you used to, and then those demons be in your home, man. That's how serious this thing get. Now you see, he said they pray over, you know, over the master copy, and he's going to say the same thing. Check this out.
You know, there's too much money there for the devil to ignore it.
Could it be the case that
So-
the record label producers, they do the spell, but the actual artist might not know anything about it?
That is possible. That there are Jewish rabbis
Yeah.
that come into some of the studios and they practice magic, and they would bless the master copy, and the artist wouldn't know anything about it.
There was a boy band called Boyzone, and this guy Shane Lynch said he would turn up and they'd just be doing some kind of like black magic ritual whilst he was there in the meeting.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane? Prayed over demonically?
Rituals, ceremonies to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry.
Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell were going to, you know, expose all this to the world,
Yeah.
and they both did suicide. You know, it's like Chester Bennington, or not, Chris Cornell was on tour. Like his whole life was mapped out the next year. He had plans, and he committed suicide. It's like, come on,
No.
you know, he didn't commit suicide.
Do they just get killed?
And
Do they get killed by like a hitman, or do you think they have like a supernatural force which makes them just have like a heart attack or something, you know, or whatever?
I think it's like the Illuminati sends somebody there. You know, I don't know if they give them a chance of like, hey, you know, if you promise not to do this, we'll let you live.
Yeah.
But, or if by the time they're killed, they've been given all the chances. You know, I guess they figured they were a public enough figure that nobody could touch them, and they found out they were wrong. But I don't think that each one of them committed suicide. I think that they were murdered.
Yeah.
You know, in this world, it's called being suicided out.
Yeah.
It means you were murdered. It looks
Epstein.
like suicide.
Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
Which other pops that you? Madonna must be right high priestess up there, is she not?
She was on. I think it was when she performed at the Super Bowl in the States.
Yeah.
She was wearing a witchcraft headdress.
Yeah.
And she was dressed as a witch. You know, Taylor Swift and Katy Perry have both done witchcraft rituals on stage.
Yeah.
Katy Perry did Dark Horse when it first came out, and it was on an awards show. And if you watch the performance, it's a witchcraft spell. It's a ritual.
And none of it's done artistically.
Some people just don't.
It's not just done to be edgy and artistic. It's you think that it's actually legitimately satanic.
Nicki Minaj, a few years ago, he had a priest come out on stage and give her an exorcism, and she acted possessed. Was it an act? Who knows?
And you see Sam Smith, he dresses up like his song is Unholy, it's called, and he's just like dressed in all these like devil horns and everything else. Some say it's just artistic, but it just seems really off, you know.
Well, you have so many artists now that claim they're satanic
Yeah.
or they claim that they're witches.
Mm.
You've got
And you
the
see, he said so many artists now claim that, even in hip hop. What do they say again? They say we on demon time. That being a satanic artist is the it thing because of the frequency of the music. Okay, that these elites, okay, have. They might have different producers or engineers that mess with the frequency as well as the lyrics. Because it was something I heard. You heard when he said all of the, artists got to be witches and warlocks, so they know how to write music, to cast spells. They learn frequencies. They learn these different things, and then they pray over the music. The witches and warlocks, and actually have principalities and demons on them. So that's why you get what you got now. That's why you have, particularly in hip hop. I'm gonna stick more to hip hop and rock. Been through. You know what I'm saying? You can just look at them. They've been had. That whole thing is demonic. But see, it went to the hip hop because the biggest target of the Edomite is the Israelite. So again, when you first had rock music, it was more about the talent. Now it's just if you sold out, flat out. Your music got to be raunchy. As a woman, you got to be half naked. As a man, you got to either be a mo or a gangster or thug. Those are enchantments. It's witchcraft. Okay, that's demonic energy you putting into a community, and they did it subtly through the music. Each generation, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Matter of fact, let's go to Second Kings, right? Because this music is powerful and they know it. Now this is in the NLT. You can see where it says war between Israel and Moab. Now this is where the kingdom, the southern kingdom and northern kingdom was going to come together to face Moab for his rebellion. You had King of Edom with him as well. But I'm gonna go to the point. 2 Kings 3:13. Now he went to go see Elisha and inquire of Elisha the prophet. And he said in verse 14, "Why are you coming to me?" Elisha asked the king of Israel, "Go to the pagan prophets of your father and mother." Because the king at the time, who was it? I think Ahab. Yeah, King Ahab. He was doing wicked. He was doing that pagan shit, man. He was the wicked nigga. All right. That's why Elisha told him that. But the king of Joram of Israel said no. For all it was King Joram. Ahab was his father. Yeah, Ahab's son. So it was Joram. And we all know Ahab was wicked. So, but King Joram of Israel said no, for it was the Lord who called us 3 kings here, only to be defeated by the king of Moab. Elisha replied, "As surely as the Lord Almighty lives, whom I serve, I wouldn't even bother with you, except for my respect for the King Jehoshaphat of Judah. Now bring me someone who can play the harp." See? And that harp is a beautiful instrument. From time to time, I listen to a harpist named Dorothy Ashby. Now, brothers and sisters, just check her music out. Dorothy Ashby. And I believe me and her from the same city of Detroit. She's a harpist, okay? But that harp has a nice frequency, nice calm and frequency. Now bring me someone who could play the harp. While the harp was being played, the power of the Lord came upon Elisha, you see, due to the frequency. Now when you go here to First Samuel, this is in the NLT as well, and this is going into David. Um, 1 Samuel 16, starting at verse 14. It says, "Now the Spirit of the Lord had left Saul, and the Lord sent a tormenting spirit that filled him with depression and fear." And if you look at these celebrities, they are so depressed, man. They have all that money, all that fame. They can buy whatever they want, but they still be depressed. And they live in fear of losing their money and fame, fear of if they want to get out of death, maybe their family members might get caught up in it. But a lot of these celebrities behind closed doors is living in depression and fear. All right, continuing on, some of Saul's servants said to him, a tormenting spirit from the Most High is troubling you. Let us find a good musician to play the harp. There go the harp again. Whenever the torment spirit troubles you. So why would they want to find a musician? Because music is powerful. Again, the elites know this. That's why they infiltrate all genres of music. And no matter what genre of music you play, a lot of it have a demonic twist, especially when it goes mainstream. But they see hip hop how it was more colorful, how it was, what Jake was doing. They seen it, and as it gained more popularity, they was like, yeah, we got to get in this, and then we can manipulate it. Not only make the money, but we can manipulate it to manipulate the people. See, he will play soothing music, and you will soon be well again. All right, Saul said, find someone who plays well and bring him here. One of the servants said to Saul, one of Jesse's sons from Bethlehem is a talented harp player. Not only that, he is a brave warrior, a man of war, and has good judgment. He is also a fine-looking young man, and the Lord is with him. So Saul sent messengers to Jesse to say, send me your son David the shepherd. Jesse responded by sending David to Saul along with a young goat, a donkey loaded with bread, and a wineskin full of wine. So David went to Saul and began serving him. Saul loved David very much, and David became his arm bearer. Then Saul sent word to Jesse, please let David. Jesse asked him, please let David remain in my service, for I am very pleased with him. Verse 23. And whenever the tormented spirit from the Most High troubled Saul, David will play the harp. Then Saul will feel better, and the tormenting spirit will go away. You see? So music have a frequency to bring demons on you. That's why you have the rap game how it is, and how all of these niggas in your neighborhood, my neighborhood, or the ones we grew up in, they acting the way they acting. Or it has the power to take tormented spirit away from you. As well as you're going to be having a bad day, you can listen to a certain album or a certain track, and it makes you feel better. Okay, that's the power of music. That's why when the tormented spirit came, David played a harp, it went away. In 2 Kings, when Elisha, they wanted to inquire of Elisha, what did he say? Now bring me someone who can play the harp. While the harp was being played, the power of the Lord came upon Elisha, right? Because of the frequency of what was being played in that music. Music is one of the most powerful weapons that has been used on the people. Okay, so let me play a little bit more.
And saying, "Oh, they're just doing it to be funny." I'm like, no, I don't think they are.
You don't
I
know.
think they're
Yeah,
serious.
they're serious, man. So, you brothers and sisters, this 2 hours long. You should watch it. It's a very good stuff in here, and even the videos from John and Todd. I think he got like 3 of these type of videos. It say take 6, but who knows how many it is. But you type in ex-Satanist John Todd, you can get his videos and listen to what he talk about. He goes into how the music industry is satanic as well. So I just wanted to bring this out, Lord willing, it was edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.
Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, if I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
The brain processes information electrically. It communicates with the cellular structure electrically, and it operates within a certain band of frequency. If you can broadcast frequencies carrying information, this technology has long been known, carrying information and perceptions within the frequency that the brain decodes information, the brain will decode those frequencies and will have those perceptions. You can externally influence people's perceptions externally by broadcasting these frequencies that we interact with, because we are antenna.
The sad reality is that where we now play our music is in A440. Where did that come from? It used to be 417. A440 came in with the Roman Catholic Church. They suppressed the frequencies. They lost somehow the 152 of the best Gregorian chants, including the hymn to St. John the Baptist, which we've now recovered. That particular hymn was what triggered Dr. Palaio's investigation, looking for those frequencies of vibration by which the music was played. It was known as the most uplifting hymn of all the ages, the most spiritually uplifting hymn. Hymn to St. John the Baptist. It was played to 6 tones. These are those 6 tones. These are those 6 frequencies. And so the A440 is what now is the standard tuning. If you go A439, you're closer to one of the Creator's tones. If you go A441, you're closer to one of the Creator's original tones. That's how precisely it has been manipulated. To do what? To shut down the 95% of your brain, particularly the right brain that operates the heart-mind to the divine human communion.
Some decades ago, there was a guy who worked out the frequencies of different emotional states. This is long ago. I mean, it's very, very sophisticated now. So every thought, every emotional response is a frequency. It generates a frequency, and it is of itself a frequency. Hate is a frequency, and it's different to love. You know, when you are in a room and there's lots of aggression and conflict and hatred, you feel it. What do people say? Oh God, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife in there. That is because the frequencies of hate and conflict have been so generated, they have changed the electromagnetic field of the room.
When you go driving your car and your channel on the radio is tuned to a station and you're grooving to the music, you love that music. As you get farther and farther away from the broadcasting tower, that music gets static. You start to lose the signal from the clear channel, broadcast, and it gets staticky. When it gets staticky, you get a little annoyed. But you want to listen to it. You really have a heart for that music, so you continue to listen to it for another 10, 15 miles, and suddenly it becomes so annoying that you just get disgusted, you go, ah, and you shut it off. And if you continue to listen to it, you get sick. That's what we're talking about here. Except you don't even know that you've been listening to the static your whole life. You don't even know what the true resonant frequency is because it has been kept from you.
Now, of course, to really be effective, we need to use the proper words and phrases, scientifically selected. But that gives you the basic idea. We embed messages just below the threshold of perception, so they can go directly into the subconscious.
They can play across a community these frequencies without anyone knowing, and it starts to have an effect, and it starts to build rage, it starts to build anger, and people might not realize why they're feeling it, but they start to feel it. And then what they do is they trigger that with an event. Maybe some guy is attacked by the police or something, or somebody's arrested for something they didn't commit, and now there's the trigger. The blue touch paper has been lit of this manufactured frequency-driven rage, and you have mass riots and what have you, and people do things that they wouldn't normally do.
So in other words, the master composer, master conductor of the Universal Orchestra is singing love songs in 5/8, uplifting everything simultaneously. And we're the only species out of tune and accepting static for the clear channel.
Do you know that the American military, they've admitted this. They have technology that fires frequencies at the enemy that basically breaks the enemy's spirit, so they give up and put their weapons down. This is the technology we're dealing with.